Good night once again, and welcome again to another LimeVibe live podcast. I'm your host, Yori Araman Kemp. I don't ever say my name is Yori Araman Kemp. The best host you could ever find on these Caribbean shores, along with my beautiful co-host, Miss Kimberly Ramcalawan from Trinidad and Tobago. How you doing, Kim?
Kimberly, what did you say, Yori?
I said Kimberly Ramcalawan.
Oh no, I thought you said something else in the middle. It was like
No, I said Kimberly Ramcalawan. I don't abuse your name.
no. I thought you said like you were adding on something,
Oh no, I would never.
a word or something.
No, I would
Cheeky
never.
like that.
No, I would never. I don't play with people's names. I know how people butcher my name, right? They call me Yuri when my name is Yori. And that
Oh,
really and
sorry.
trust me, my mom hates that. When she has my quote unquote friends call me Yuri, she say, Yori, that's not your name. And
Sorry,
so yeah, so Kim, what's going on your side of the world, Kim?
there's a lot happening here. This week we come off a busy weekend. A lot happening around the world.
Mm.
What happening in Trinidad today is David Rudder's birthday in 70. Recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
Yes.
Top most prolific calypsonians of our time or era. He's known around the world. When you think about cricket, you hear David Rudder's voice. Rally around the West Indies. When it comes to cricket, that's the anthem you want to hear. But he also talk about the Bacchanal lady, the troublesome Caribbean woman. It talks about Trini woman, but I think it speaks to all Caribbean women what we are, what we're all about.
Yes.
So,
A great brother. So sorry he has Parkinson's, man. That's a debilitating disease, Kim.
and he had his final concert, he says, but I'm sure we're gonna hear him here and there singing because there's Cafe Blues Cafe in Port of Spain. They usually celebrate the jazz musicians and the calypsonians. We might hear him pop up ever so often because this has been his lifelong
Yes.
career to give up singing just like that. I don't think he's gonna sit down just quietly and say, okay, I'm gonna roll over. No, it's not like that. We also heard that Denise Plummer, she's one of our other calypsonians, got a cancer diagnosis, and
Wow.
she's trying to raise funds for her treatment.
Is it breast cancer or?
I'm not sure. I think it was pancreatic, if I'm not
Oh
mistaken.
wow! Oh yeah, that's a killer. Yeah, wow. Sorry to hear that, man.
But
All the
she
best.
has faith in God. She is one
Yes.
that transitioned into singing gospel music in the last decade or two, and but she is one of our revered calypsonians, female calypsonians alive today, and so we wish them well.
Yes.
At the same time, a lot was happening on Saturday night. Apart from the King's coronation, we had Beres Hammond.
Oh yeah,
They-
he's another person that's battling with cancer, right?
Jamaicans came down for the redemption
Oh,
concert. So we had Beres Hammond and Buju Banton and those guys here singing, but a lot of people were up in an uproar because they weren't able to, even though they paid like $450 TT for their ticket, they weren't able to enter because they said the Savannah was, you've got your stipulation for crowds, your crowd limit. So they had the crowd limit and they weren't allowed to come in. So you oversold the tickets.
What a shame! What a shame! And they missed the show because Barry Simon puts on a wonderful show. I went to his show. I think he was in the Bahamas about 5 months ago, last year, November, I think it was. He had the
Right.
Love in the Bahamas concert. He brought Vane Wonder. He brought Tony Macaron. It was a good show. The first time I ever saw him live, I see what everyone's clamoring about. He really knows how to entertain a crowd, man. Barry Simon.
They
He
had
was,
Luciano here as well. Luciano and Black Loyalty, Anthony B.
yeah. He's the king of smooth reggae, slow reggae. No one could beat Barry Simon, man. He's not. Now speaking about David Rudder, he's someone that's going to sing until he's in his grave. He's not going to stop until you actually have to drag him up that stage. He's going to collapse on that stage. That's Barry Simon.
Beres Hammond is the kind that you rent a tile. What we say rent a tile here in Trinidad in a disco. You rent a tile, you hold on to your loved one.
You rent the time.
The music would stop and you'd still be swaying to the music
Yes.
and love.
Yes. I know. I went to Barry Simon with two of my girlfriends actually. Well, one of my schoolmates. She's not a girlfriend, but like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I know from my school, and she brought her friend with her. So I had two women with me for the Barry Summers concert, and made my other love interest, very, very upset. She started messaging, "What are you doing there? I thought you weren't speaking to me, miss. How could you be not speaking to me and then wonder why I'm at a concert with Barry Salmon?"
Yari.
She disappeared again. I was talking to her nice and smooth for the past couple of days. She disappeared again, Kim. I don't know. I think I have to cut her off altogether. I'm trying not to, man, but it's I don't know. Maybe my heart is too much involved in this, and I should think about it more in a more serious manner. Because I have really serious things I need to focus on, man. I can't be bottom of this yo-yo up and down, this foolishness, man. I'm thinking she's coming back, then she's not coming back, then she's here, then she's not there. She talks, well, good being that she disappears again. It's too much, man. I know there's a good reason for it, but it's too much, man. Women are just too much in management. I can't really focus on because I have some serious things I need to focus on, man. Like for example, Kim, the Caribbean Magazine Plus poetry contest is going to come out tomorrow. We're launching that tomorrow. So it's going to be from March 9th to August 25th. So anyone who's interested in poetry, you think you'd write poetry, please enter the Caribbean Magazine Plus poetry contest. It's becoming very popular. And we have Mr. Malachi Smith, a Jamaican playwright, poet, and educator. And he's going to be the evaluator for this year's poetry contest. So we have top tier talent looking at these poems. And so please, you will definitely want to enter this one. This is the third time we're doing this. Every year we keep building and building and building. We're getting better talent, better poems. Like last year was the first time we had a Spanish speaker actually win the contest. And so it's becoming very popular. He's from Nicaragua. I hope he's listening tonight too. Jose is listening tonight. So I hope he's listening tonight and he's tuning in. He says he gets my messages all the time that he's tuning in, right? But I hope he's tuning in tonight because I was really proud that he entered and he actually won for his poem Blue Fields. And he keeps reminding me that it's Blue Fields one word, not Blue Fields two word, because Blue Fields is a place in Nicaragua that's like an international center in Nicaragua that has a lot of Americans, English, Chinese. It's like a really international center, really metropolitan center there. And he wanted to write about that. So yeah, I hope that they enter it again this year. So he's from Nicaragua, Jose from Nicaragua. So that's launching tomorrow. You definitely want to get involved in that. So otherwise, in that, Kim, that's what I'm really focused on now. The Caribbean Magazine. Yeah, I have to pay the short story competition people now. I had to pay them their winnings. I told them by the end of this month I'm going to get them their winnings, so they know they have to be patient. So bear with me. Those bills, Kim. I got them with bills and stress. Bills and stress.
Inflation is something that's happening all across the world, and we have to deal with it.
Yeah, they're killing us, Kim. They're killing us.
And other happenings this weekend, I know we were talking a bit about the coronation. Did you take it in?
No, I didn't have a chance to take it in, Kim. I got up like around 6 o'clock. I went to jog over the bridge, and by the time I came back, it was over. So I didn't really pay that much mind. I wasn't really fussed about it anyway. I know he's going to be king, so I didn't really need to watch that.
It was really a detailed thing. It was to see. It's an Anglican church, obviously.
Yes.
And quite a detailed ceremony, and how people obviously they spoke about it being antiquated or something outdated, having the screens come in where the priest now anoints him. It's supposed to be symbolic of like the Holy Spirit coming down on him and anointing him as king. It was at least he cut it down to 2.5 hours. It's actually over 3.5 hours, 3 to 4 hours long traditionally. And I was listening to it. I took it in obviously from the BBC's perspective.
Yes.
With my eyes on the Commonwealth and Caribbean leaders involved, their involvement.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the first time that we actually saw different faiths, representatives of different faiths speaking. Really? So we had the Muslim, the Hindu, the Sikh, the Jewish faith.
Yes.
They were all involved in the whole coronation process, the whole ceremony. So
you think Rishi Sunak was behind that?
I think it shows the evolution of all the times that we're living in. I know that they're trying to have the inclusion. Mm-hmm. It was also the first time that a female carried the sword.
Oh, okay.
So that the Lord, her name is Penny Mordaunt. Mm-hmm. And I was admiring her outfit because she looked really regal. You can see me post up on it on Instagram. But for her to have that strength, that arm strength to carry that sword for all those hours, before handing it over to him, so it's something. But it's the first time that a female is actually, participating in that role.
That's good. That's good. After how many years? 6, 7 centuries now.
And it's always been a male dominated thing, despite having a queen at the helm, a
Yes.
female at the helm.
Mhm.
So it was interesting to see how they try to be inclusive. There were some singers from South Africa, an opera singer. She was really beautiful. I was captivated by her voice and the song that she sang.
Mhm.
Um, Even I think there's Andrew Lloyd Webber. He's close to them. He's a theatrical person. He did a new version. He created a new version of one of the psalms in song as
Mhm.
a hymn, and I think it was beautiful. I took in the classical music. Now I know, as Caribbean people, as people who were colonized and
Mhm.
who came out of this regime,
Mhm.
we should not be entertaining these things too much. But it's their culture. It's their
Yes.
thing. So it was interesting just to see it.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
we understand that obviously they're having all this pomp and splendor because of the riches amassed
Mhm.
from their empires, which is
Mhm.
now the Commonwealth. I said that numerous
Blood of
times
the
on.
slaves, Kim. England was built on the backs of the slaves, Kim, and the blood of the slaves and the indentured servitude servants, man. That's really what it is. But anyway, it was a good show, right?
It was long, but it was really. I was fascinated. Obviously, I poked my fun at Camilla, Queen Consort. The crown was not made for her because she was like fidgeting with them, trying to put it on her
Okay,
head.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
You saw the smirk on her face.
Did you see the memes flying out about her, man? Saying if side chicks can win at the end if they just be patient.
So you saw that I put
I did not like that, I don't like crass jokes like that, I saw it, right, but I was like, that's too low brow for me, man. Why would you want to insult the queen like that? Have some respect.
knowing Camilla what she represents. It's like it's a real sad day. It's a low blow for the monarch. This is what
Yes.
Brits are saying too. Brits were on the street saying that. Now you
Mm,
saw thousands of them show up. They were hundreds of thousands lined along the mall. They call
mm,
it mall. I know it to be the mall. I don't
yeah.
know that whole stretch from Trafalgar Square all the way up to Kensington Palace. And
Yeah.
I was watching it, and the people were actually interviewing them,
Mm,
and they had many things to say. I believe that it is part of British history. That's why they came out. When you
okay.
speak to them, a lot of them, they still don't like Camilla. They don't like Charles, but
Mm,
part of their heritage. It's something out there to
yeah.
see. You
Yeah, they
know,
come to see the queen, the new king. Yeah.
yeah, it's a tradition being carried out. They still take pride in it, despite not liking the characters, and
Yeah,
that's
they don't like Charles. They don't like Charles because of what happened to Diana. But
yes.
they don't realize that Camilla was his first love.
Yes, we understand that. And we understand that the queen probably meddled too much in their lives,
Yes.
their
Yes.
affairs, hindering that love from,
Yes.
taking. They said she was not of royal blood and breeding to be incorporated.
Oh my goodness.
But now
Should
you've
miss that man love. Now the queen's dead now. Now she's the queen now. So Queen Elizabeth's dead now. And you might as well left her alone. Stay out of these people business, man. Stay out of these people business, man. Let love be love, man.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, well, you've got Harry and Meghan living it, as they
Yeah.
like. Harry
Yeah.
was just there. He was in the fourth row,
Oh
and
wow.
he was behind his aunt. That's his aunt, Princess Anne. I think
Mm.
they kept poking fun at her feather in her hat because she was wearing it wasn't of everything. So
Oh wow.
apart instead of participating in the whole garden affair post the ceremony, he
Mhm.
actually hopped on a plane after the cathedral and made his way, hopped in a car and went to the airport back to America. So
No,
sad.
that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. That's his son. He should have a first and foremost place at that coronation. Even though that's the second time he's not in line for the throne, that's still your flesh and blood, man. Invite him like a son, like the prodigal son. Invite him back into the fold, man. That's your son, man.
Invited, but I'm not. I believe he chose not to stay.
Mm,
So it came across that he chose not to stay.
okay.
I
Okay.
mean, after you and your wife went out and made a big bashing of the monarch that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and you're trying to sell it and make money off it. You made a
Yeah.
you entire tell it all in your book called The Spare. What else are you going to
I think he's
get?
gonna regret that, He's going to regret it for the rest of his life. Because
He's making
even if they were racist against Megan, right? Their actions afterwards gave them an excuse not to invite them back. So he should have just played it cool and let them play themselves out. Because he gave them the ammunition now to say, well, I don't want you back because of such and such your actions after, what happened. But now, so it's just like, wow, we shouldn't have done that, man. I think he's gonna regret that. He's gonna regret that because these Hollywood starlets, they love you for the minute and then they forget you afterwards, man. That's how they are. You
oh
see all
wait.
you see all these marriages and divorces inside Hollywood. It's just like for sure. For me personally, Kim, and this is my theory. And this is a hot take. This is a hot take. This is a very hot take. I believe these marriages in Hollywood, they are just, a part of their movie characters.
Yes. I've seen to an extent, it's just an extension of that.
Okay.
It's them trying to leverage it to the most of that they can gain, leverage it to the maximum gain that they can, benefit from.
Exactly. I think they're fake. I think that only a marriages at all. They just like marriages for, for what is the popularity and the publicity. I don't think it's real marriages, man. That's why they get married and they divorce so quickly. It's not like a real marriage, like in front of a marriage officer with a real license. It's just for show and tell for us. That's a hot take.
I was very much curious. What I looked out for were the Caribbean flags being carried by the soldiers in at the march past, and it was the first time that troops as part of the Commonwealth participate, in an event. In the past, these troops were not allowed. These troops were looked down on.
Oh wow. That's a political play, Kim.
It is.
That's a political play. King Charles now wants to bring these Commonwealth countries back in the fold now because he realizes now England messed its hand up with Europe. So you need to build allies around the world now, and then things really start to kick off because it looks like China and Russia, they're asserting their independence and dominance away from everybody else. And so, United States is going to need another real partner, man. I think the United States could take on both of them at the same time,
I mean, British and American forces have always found allies with Caribbean forces. Yes. I mean, Trinidad, we have U.S. Army bases.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they can still come back here to those armies. Obviously, they have not been upkept, but they can find some kind of support, manpower if need be.
Yeah. You let a war break out and you see what happens. You will see how much of your country that you own and who can come back, who can't come back. United States can commandeer just like they did Puerto Rico and Haiti. They'll commandeer the space. That's
definitely. And I mean, I honestly believe war is not too far off. Honestly, I'm looking at what's happening with China and Taiwan. Yeah. China and America has said that if Taiwan is to be attacked, it will come to its defense.
Yes, absolutely. It has to come to Taiwan's defense, man. It has to, because the United States has a lot of money invested in Taiwan. It's like the United States of Asia, and so they have to come to Taiwan's defense. They've brought it this far because they can't let another Ukraine happen. You can imagine they destroyed Taiwan like how they do in Ukraine now. They're only letting the Ukraine be destroyed now because there's really nothing there that the Western powers really own like that to that great extent, right? But Taiwan is a totally different animal. They have a lot of money in the tech industry there. They have a lot of investments on the ground. A lot of American companies are there. So there's a lot of security interest there as well, because they actually wanted China for the United States and Great Britain. And so if China attacks Taiwan, the United States has to go in there. They can't lose that foothold in East Asia.
No, not at all. And that does not seem far-fetched. I feel as though I get the sense that it's just a matter of days, weeks. You never know when China is, and the implications, the retaliations that China may pull on America.
Yes.
But I mean, we've seen at the start of this year what's been happening with the floating, these things entering American airspace. Mm-hmm. So what intelligence they've harvested and what they are capable of doing.
Yeah. Yeah, but like how I said earlier too, that move where you said the Commonwealth countries are involved in the parade for the king's coronation. People look at it as, oh, that's a good feel good moment that the Commonwealth countries are now involved in the parade. Commonwealth military armed forces are involved in the parade, but I see it as a strategic move. And if you're not watching very closely, you would miss it, because that shows you that Britain is now getting ready to build all its allies around the world again in the event that World War III breaks out again. So I saw it kind of differently, Kim. So it's happening right now before your eyes, and you're not even seeing these subtle little changes happening around the world. We only see the big conflict in Russia and Ukraine, right? But there's some other subtle little changes happening here, where you see Britain and France making some moves to their former colonies and allies and whatever. But France has always kind of been namby-pamby, right? But at least you see Britain making some moves to solidify its global dominance again. So we're seeing that happen. So I got that from the coronation. Thanks for listening.
The coronation was very interesting to me. I missed the Queen's presence. Whenever I think of the Queen, I think of afternoon tea. And as we want to participate in things, you know how much I love a good tea party here in Trinidad.
Yes. Oh, one thing I did forget. One thing I did forget. I came in at the point where they were interviewing the persons who won the dog show, the king and queen's dogs, and it was the first year that a Cocker Spaniel won. Because the previous years the corgis were winning because they were the Queen's favorite dogs, right? But now this is the Cocker Spaniel one because it's King Charles's favorite dog, right?
Right.
So when you're the king, you could do anything, Kim. Once you're the king, you could do anything.
I got to like Cocker Spaniels from watching Oprah. My neighbor had a few, and they were so cute. I just love how their ears are furry.
Yeah.
But I also like the corgis because they're short-legged little munchkins.
Oh yeah, they're cute and they have a lot of personality, Kim. Corgis have a lot of personality, man. They're beautiful. I see what the queen of them.
Yeah, and then it's like it's the Queen's favorite. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. But we also spoke about Caribbean being there and everyone representing.
Did you see your flag?
What's that?
Did you see your flag, the Trinidadian flag?
Pointed. There's a Trinidadian flag. I saw the Grenadian flag. I saw the Antiguan flag.
Yeah.
I saw the Bahamas flag. I saw the Barbados. So I saw the entire Caribbean. I looked out.
Yes.
I saw Dickon Mitchell in line behind his flag. I saw Jamaica. I can't remember who represented Jamaica. But yeah, they're going for the whole Republican status with a president, and with us today, we had our president do her first line of duty, and she had to appoint Silk.
Oh, wow.
Your lawyers, your esteemed lawyers,
he's right.
Members of your esteemed legal fraternity, senior counsel status.
Yeah, giving them KCs, right? King's Counsel, right?
She gave it to her husband and her brother.
Yeah, way to go, man. What's wrong with that? That's nice.
If you're there, I'll give it to you.
Yes, give it to the man. That's right. Because you wouldn't get no one else to give it to you, for sure.
But here's the thing, right? I never knew her husband, winning a case and being prominent in the legal fraternity. Now, Kamala Prasad, she gave herself Silk. She's an attorney. I was against that, but I know that she gave her AG, Anand Logan, senior counsel status. Now, Anand Logan, I think, was very much deserving of it because actually since the 90s, he was winning some very large cases. He probably did not need senior counsel status because he was quite known. If you want your case win, you go to him, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's that good. All right.
Yeah. And I actually thought Prakash Ramadar would have gotten it. That was their legal affairs minister back then because he was also with Anand Ramlogan's office. And they were really good. If you want your case won, you go to these fellas, right? But, a lot of people had kicked brass with Kamala Prasad because had given herself Silk. But the first action of this president is to give her husband. And so I'm waiting to see the reactions. But hey, once, you want to in public office, you're allowed to do these things, right?
Yes. You want you the king, you could do anything, man. And King Charles letting Cocker Spaniels now win the dog show. So he wants you to work in charge. So that's a note for you, Kim. Get in charge. Get in charge of something.
My husband's always saying, I need to get into politics. I need to go join one of those parties. If I become a minister, this is what I'm going to do. It's like, right.
Yeah, I know, right? He'll too find that politics isn't what it's all cracked up to be, It's very restricting.
No. He's saying let's get into it. There's some kind of tout in getting into politics here in Trinidad. You've got to benefit. You're going to gain something.
Mm.
But there's that notion you gain. It's like, but you're in public service.
You
You're
should
you're
gain.
right.
You should
Gaining
gain.
what way? Is it in a legal manner? Or are you part of the corrupt system? Because now you're ingrained in the system, so you have to participate. And I think that's dangerous. And
Yeah.
that's something I stay away. Even as a
Yeah.
reporter in Trinidad, you've got to be careful because they look at you and it's like, okay, if you get any gift or any token from anyone, what does it mean?
Mm. As
So
a
yeah,
journalist, they give you gifts.
as a journalist, if a minister does something for you or something like that, it could be questioned if it
Mm.
comes to being known. Sometimes
Kim, you
even
worry about too much minutia, So I mean, take the gifts, take the trips. Give me the trips and give me the money. I do not care. Because it's not going to stop my reporting anyway, right? And people could say what they want to say at the end of the day anyway. I'd rather them say what they want to say and me having a couple of dollars in my pocket and then me getting the same flack and being broke.
you missed the ethics course, Yari.
I know, of course. You see any ethics going on around here? You see any ethics going on around here? Look at what's going on around you, Kim. Is anybody ethical around you?
No. But at
Okay,
least
there you have it.
before my God, at least I can answer to him. When I
Yeah.
stand on the throne, it's like, what did you do? You did that,
And you're gonna tell the good Lord and Savior, say, Lord, you put me down here with these people and they didn't give me a chance. I had to do what I had to do to get your dreams done, to get your will done.
No.
Oh, this is what you gave me. You gave me this. You put me here with these people. These are
Right.
rules. Your people. You put me here with these people. They're Lord and Savior.
Part of your bag are pieces of silver, right?
I wouldn't throw mine away like Judas did. I'll keep mine.
This is they ask you what did you do with what I gave you, the bags of silver? Did you multiply it? What did you do? You bring it back to me
Oh,
as it. So
no,
yeah.
invest it. Yeah, take the money, invest it, man. Do good with it. No, man. Here's the thing now, Kim. If you get the money, do good with it now. Don't continue on with the cycle. But if you have a chance, take the chance, man, because that's what the system is. Take the chance and then do some good with it. Try to put some good back into the world. That's the only way it's going to happen, Kim. Because he did say he's going to take away from the wicked and he's going to give it to the good. So take from the wicked and do good with it, man. That's the only way it's going to happen, Kim. The only way it's going to happen.
Here's the thing, right? We could say that about Jack Warner. Jack Warner here in Trinidad was actually named our Robin Hood. He took from the rich and he gave to the poor.
I have no problem with that.
Calls him that, but look where he is right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's really worried about it anyway, though. He's taking his licks and he's just keeping his head under the parapet, and he's trying to live low. He's in a WhatsApp group I'm in, though. He's very, very quiet. Only thing he says is good morning, and that's about it. Poor Jack Warner. I have no problem with Jack, man. Jack did what he had to do for Caribbean soccer, man, for Trinidadian soccer. Jack did what he had to do. Yeah, Jack did what he had to do. And that's the kind of man who that's a man right there, and he's taking the licks right now. Even after this long while, they're still trying to hang Jack Warner. But he's really riding it out, man. He doesn't care. He did what he had to do, and that's good, man. If we let Jack Warner stick around with CONCACAF, we would have had World Cup soccer in one of these Caribbean countries. But I really believe that.
I don't know. Do we have CONCACAF anymore? It's been taken over since 2018 into something else, not so?
Oh, I'm not sure. I remember it as CONCACAF.
And I know we had CONCACAF. I'm not sure if it changed because of his participation and what have you. So
no, I don't think it changed.
When last did we have a CONCACAF
matchup? I don't know. I really follow soccer, I'm not a real football fan, so.
Yeah, there was one time that I was in it because the media house that I worked for, they covered it and they were part of it, and I would, whenever they had games, so my crew would say, "Here, come, you have the pass. Just say you're going up to so and so," and I got to see the game.
Oh my goodness,
that was so cool. That was the best thing because it's at a stadium near to where I live, and they're having one of those games, match-offs. It's like, yeah, you can come, and I enjoyed it. And then I would snag all my cameramen and the sports crew their t-shirts. They would get t-shirts from when they have the big launches and stuff. Like, I'm taking that. That's my
oh Lord.
That's a good thing about You know, you could.
You're a very excitable young lady, Kim. You are a very excitable young lady.
I mean, that's a rapport reporter usually has with her cameraman, you know. You can, and all the cameramen are there. It's like, okay, I like that. We work as a team. If I get something you like, I would give it to you. If I want a t-shirt, I was a sucker for a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do the same thing too, Kim. Yeah, you invite me to press conference or any kind of fair. I want everything off the table. I want the pens. I want the books. I want the stress balls. I want the notepads. I want the bag. I want the flag. I want the everything. I want everything, man. The keychain, the bottle opener. Yes, everything. Yeah, there you go, Kim. Give me everything, man. Everything, everything. Because you invite me to this dry seminar, right? And I shouldn't take anything from it. Come on, man. Stop it. Give me everything.
Those pens come in handy.
Oh,
Those
yes, they do. They
pens
do.
and cards come in handy. You would think that our newsroom usually supplies us with these things, but and it's never enough. I had a drawer full of notebooks and pens. And it still was never enough because week time taking notes, note taking at any seminar, at any conference, and just hustling, chasing stories.
Yeah.
You take a notepad now for now,
Yeah. And people steal your pens, right? You leave your pen on your table and someone just ups and walks away from you, right? Someone just takes it.
That's an international problem, I think, with everyone.
Stealing your pens, man. I'm tired of going back and forth to the administrative assistant for pens, man. Every week I go back with give me at least 3 pens. I put them on my desk and they just up and disappear. I know who's moving them, I know who's moving them, I know who's moving them. I know who's moving them.
Know who's moving them.
I know who's moving them. Yeah, I know exactly who's moving them.
Thief in my newsroom. So I live south and my office is usually north. And I had a box because if you're working 12 hours straight, sometimes you don't have time to pick up lunch and you're busy typing away and punching and making sure lining up your footage and you're running back and forth from studio into newsroom. And I would usually make sure I have my crackers and my snacks there. and some things were missing. It's like, where did it go? Who? And I had a lock and key for my stuff. And some person, she didn't like me too much, and she took it. I was like, well, it's going to expire anymore. I saved you from it.
Oh Lord, what a lame excuse, right?
And it's the person that really does not like me, oppose me. Like, you're taking something from me? Okay. Aren't you afraid that there's something on it?
Yeah, that's how they go, man. What you should do the next time, you should like wipe something on it, something very, very disgusting on it, and then show them that you're doing it, and take it at your own risk.
Put feminine supplies near it on top.
Oh my goodness, Kim. Yeah, you gotta think really nasty with these people, man. You gotta let them see that there's a cost. You have to pay a price when you steal.
What I hated was like, you've got the refrigerator that you shared stuff in your office space, right?
Yeah.
And when you're working weekends, you don't always have the time and pleasure, especially if it's a weekend with a holiday in it. So I would stop in the fridge and so the guys, the editors, they would have their cheese and sausages and they make out of it so they could have some. I would put yogurt and I would put milk drinks and stuff, something to sustain me throughout the night. When I'm gone, it's gone. Where is it? I put this there. It's like if you didn't put it, say, admit it's not yours. Don't take it.
Yeah.
Put up a notice, and there was something that was going on in Trinidad at the time. A farmer was actually poisoning his avocados because someone was stealing it. Warning: if you don't buy avocados from that person because they're stealing.
Now, was that true, or that's just a rumor? Was that true?
It was true, and he was actually locked up and charged.
Wow. Okay, that's scary.
I actually put up a notice. I said, you don't want to be like the avocado farmer. You don't want to be like those avocado vendors. So do what's right. And I put up that notice in the kitchen. I put up that notice like I did.
Yeah. I had a situation like that when I was working to my second job ever. It was a warehouse. And my supervisor and everyone inside the office, I never used to bring lunch. I used to buy my own lunch, right? But the people who used to bring lunch, they always found their lunch was missing. And they couldn't find out exactly who was doing it until we actually caught the person red-handed. It was oh, that's him. And when I saw, he was a good worker, right? But I wasn't even upset anymore. I was like really, really sad, man. I was really sad because why? You have to steal food? You mean you have no money? You mean are you not poor? I really felt sad, man, that you have to steal someone's food out of the fridge, I felt sad. I wasn't angry anymore. I just felt sad for him, man, You had to steal people's food out of the fridge. That was really embarrassing, man.
Was he really poor?
No,
That's why?
he wasn't really poor. It's just that he just, he wasn't like dragging slippers and wearing raggy clothes, but it was just that, probably was on a budget and didn't have any money. Because I know how things can be when you're trying to, build towards something. But I say, man, that's how they have you, man. You have to steal people's food, man. That's really bad, man. So even if he wasn't that, I felt really sorry for him, that you have to steal people's food, man. And that's how you should look at these people, with a real, with your nose down on them, you really have to steal people's food, man. Really.
I know the characters that did it, and they were more than able. They were actually better off than me.
Oh wow, they're the type, they're the ones who be fronting Kim. They be fronting that they have all this stuff and they have nothing, Kim. Don't mind these people, Kim. Don't mind these people. Don't mind these people. Don't mind what they have on. Don't mind what you see them doing. Some of these people are dirt poor. Some of these people are hustling and trying to make ends meet, just like you and I. These people are suffering, Kim.
No. This person was going to the most expensive takeout place, and they would go and buy 2 meals, big food, and come and eat. They just wanted to eat my snacks.
Yeah. Eat your snacks, eh? Because it wasn't full of them, Kim.
They got worms.
Oh, you pray for them to get worms, Kim? My grandpa used to say, you old worm guts.
Someone putting away that much food, and they're remaining skinny. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are they now, though? Are they still struggling?
No, they're always better than me. They were always better than me.
Oh, Lord.
Never struggling, believe you me.
That's life in office politics, eh? People stealing your food and people stealing your pens. Yeah. I have a coworker that comes to work sick, Kim. He comes to work with the flu and the cold, and he passes it to everybody, man. He infects the whole office. He doesn't stay home, man. And he gets sick regularly, man. I mean, like, he's regularly sick. He's regularly has the flu and the cold, man. He gives it to everybody, man. Stay home, for Christ's sake, man. He gives me the call at least 3 times since I've been working there with him.
Really?
I don't get sick. I don't catch the flu and the cold. Not in the past 10 years, but since I started working with him, I was like, oh, I get sick every other week, man.
Vitamin D, zinc, and your vitamin C.
Oh yeah, I take them now. My vitamin C, I take them now. Even his germs combat my vitamins, Kim. That's how strong his germs are. And he catches flu so frequently. Like, where are you sleeping, nigga? Where are you sleeping? Where are you sleeping? That you keep on catching the cold and the flu, man. Yeah, you sleeping outside in the dirt? Man. Come on, man. You can't be sick this week again. Yeah, and what he likes to do, he likes to sit at my desk as well too. He's sick. He likes to sit at my desk. And he likes to get stuff off of my computer. Like, man, my God, if you can't sit, why don't you just sit in the corner and just go die slowly, man? Why do you have to sit and touch everyone else's materials and everyone else's workstation, right? Give us a break, man. Like, I just imagine what he's doing when I'm not there. He probably licking my keyboard with his tongue, running his tongue over my.
Gross,
yeah, that's the kind of nasty scumbag he is, And everyone says, why don't you stay home? Why don't you stay home if you're sick? Stay home if you're sick. Because especially with COVID now too, why don't you stay home if you're sick? And I feel kind of sad for me. Maybe he can't stay home, Kim. Maybe home isn't a good place to stay. Maybe work is the only place he really could come. Like how he used to wash off inside the bathroom as well too, Kim. So he may have a real bad home life. Yeah.
That's probably.
My God. Take care of yourself, man.
Those are signs that something is actually,
Yeah.
not
Yeah. Well, and I say, poor fella. I say, Lord, but don't make us sick though. That's all I have to say. Otherwise, Kim, how's your weekend, man?
Other than that, I think everything was taken up with, what's happening. I was taken up with the whole coronation for me. I heard that St. Vincent Prime Minister, him and his wife, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, was actually starring at the coronation.
Really?
She was really beautiful. I was taken up with her. I was like, I'm seeing his wife in his arms for the first time.
Wow.
I mean, you to see them together because as reporters, we know our Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, and in that way. So it's nice to see his wife was starring with him, but he made a comment that it was time to sever the umbilical cord with the British monarch, similar
Oh,
to what
God.
you know.
Everyone's jealous of me about thing Barbados, right? Everyone's jealous now, right? They're talking that separation talk, right?
I guess, and when in Rome, you do things like this, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
You call out the monarch. All right, time for this to be, done with.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing that's why everyone would say things like that.
Mm.
And he says, "Oh, it's understandable that a king is going the king should anticipate the severing of these colonies,
Mm.
from the monarch."
Mm.
So,
Yeah, you should. From at least the 70s, right? When everyone really was independent after that, right? You should expect it.
yeah, I mean, if there was a time to do it, you should have done it when you became independent. I think,
Yep.
when
Yep.
you lowered that Union Jack and you
Mm.
took on your own colors,
Mm.
I think it's only fair that, okay, so you all should have progressed toward that in a short space of time.
Yes, yes.
Trinidad did it within how many years? 86. That was 14 years apart, from 1962 to 1976.
Mm.
I mean, and that was because of Eric Williams. He had pushed for that.
Yes.
So you've had to have had that political will to have done that from
Mhm.
the get go.
Yes, yes, yes. That includes. And Guyana did too, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And to come and say you're doing it so many years after,
Mm.
it begs to question, your own faith in your own people and things like
Yes.
that.
And
And
now it's so long. I don't trust them now anymore, Kim. Back
exactly,
20 years ago, we could have that conversation, but now I'm looking at these guys and say, something. Maybe we should stay with the British monarchy. Maybe we should stay with them.
because it looks at you, it's begging for constitutional reform. It's begging for a lot of things when it comes to the final say for your legislative,
Yeah.
and what has to be done, formulation of laws going forward, and things like that.
Mm.
And I would really like to see a lot more Caribbean countries. 8 Caribbean countries still remain under the monarch.
Mm.
And it would be nice that you would see a little more, but why now? Everyone is questioning why now.
Because of me and Motley, man. That
Motley,
mention made with Barbados, yeah. Everyone's jealous, Kim. They sounded so long they forgot about it until she came and she made a revolutionary move and she took Barbados into a republic status, and now everyone else is jealous that she did it. That's really what it is, And no mind the Jamaicans, they were really pissed off of that. The Jamaicans were pissed off that she went. Yeah, when Barbados went, yeah, man. I was watching the comments online. When Barbados went to republic status, man, listen, the Jamaicans were very salty, man. They were saying some real nasty things. They were fighting amongst themselves, They couldn't take it. Their heads exploded, man. I was laughing straight through, man. That made them pissed off, Kim.
I actually like it, but as I said, the Jamaicans say, "Stick with the evil,
Yeah.
stick with the demon that you know."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, perhaps, just like we have still stuck with the Privy Council and we're not going to the CCJ. So
Yeah. I believe the Privy Council should remain too, Kim.
yeah, I know we spoke about that on Friday. So that was like, I believe in the Privy Council as well, compared to the CCJ. I mean, this has been something that I've been hearing about for the last 20 years. I've been listening to it. I've been taking in all the conversations for the last 20 years, the debate on, impartiality and things like that.
Yes, yes, yes. And this is their law, This is not black law. This is not African law. This is their law. So we've been governing these countries by this Commonwealth common law all these years. I see any reason why we should move away from that particular framework, And it's a good backstop, have some impartiality with someone who's, far removed away from, the daily rigors of what happens in these Commonwealth countries, these Caribbean countries. So yeah, I believe the Privy Council should stay. I don't believe in the Caribbean Court of Justice. I don't believe in them.
I would like to actually see the day that it's really effective, and you're seeing a lot more cases coming before it. But for now, I can see certain cases. I think it should. Okay, so many cases are allowed. The jurisdiction for the CCJ is allowed this much. When it comes to appealing this level of court cases, these kind of matters, We don't think, that they could probably handle it, or probably we really want something a little more impartial, we want something, that is not biased in any way. We go to the Brits.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I agree, man. I agree. You know, I just don't, me personally, I just don't think that there's enough impartial jurists, because even now in the Bahamas, we still have to bring in jurors, we still have to bring in judges from, let's say, the other Commonwealth countries, from South Africa, from Australia. We still have judges on the bench who are from other Commonwealth countries. So if we have to do that, how are we going to stack up the Commonwealth? How are we going to stack up the Caribbean Court of Justice and we still have to bring in judges from the other Commonwealth countries?
Oh, the Caribbean Court of Justice is just, putting our faith in Hugh Wooden Law School,
Yeah.
University.
Yeah, he's the preeminent jurist in the Caribbean. Hugh Wooden, right? Yeah.
But hey, I supposed to mention, I know we were talking a bit about it, but they're celebrating a lot of that. The pandemic is over.
Yeah.
World Health Organization is saying the pandemic is over, but I don't think we should drop our guard just yet, What
Why
do
not?
you think?
I say, man, travel to the United States, COVID free, man, COVID vaccine free. Yes, it's about time. There are a lot of people who didn't get this vaccine. There are a lot of people who did not get this vaccine, man.
I know.
Yeah, and they're skeptical against it. They weren't as brave as you and I, right? We're going to take the side effects in the next 10 years, right? We're going to take the third horn growing out of our back of our head, right? But there's some people who really were so skeptical against this vaccine that they didn't want to take it. And I don't blame them for it, but then still, they need to travel too. And I think the United States is looking at all of this right now, and they're saying, something, these people need to travel, need their tourist dollars as well. So let them travel. Travel at their own risk. And who's vaccinated is vaccinated. And I'm secure. I'm safe. I'm vaccinated. I have my two what did I take? I took my Pfizer shots. I could not trust the AstraZeneca. So yeah, I'm fully
And yeah, so we actually got the AstraZeneca first.
okay.
Then we got Sinopharm, which was from China, and later on we got the Pfizer and Johnson Johnson.
Okay, you took the Sinopharm, right?
Yeah, it was a one jab,
How was the Sinopharm really received in Trinidad?
It was taken. People took it. The efficacy is debatable, as they said it was like probably 60% or 50%. I'm not too sure, but that seems to have been a milder, more mild vaccine.
It probably was a knockoff, like every other Chinese product is, right? It was a knockoff, cheap knockoff, right? Tell the truth, shame the devil. Didn't the Indians have a vaccine as well too?
Yes, we did, but it didn't reach our shores yet. Some of the AstraZeneca was actually made in India. So I believe the AstraZeneca that we would have gotten was made in India.
Yeah, so, right. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Well, they have their biotech labs in India, so that they would have been able to formulate some vaccines for dispersal. So Barbados would have gotten from that, and they would have shared with us here in Trinidad.
Okay. Me and Marty leading again, Kim.
Yeah. But what they said, like, I think the World Health Organization said like there were over 7 million deaths. 7 million deaths, Yori. That's a good bit of people who would have, died from this pandemic. And 765 million confirmed cases.
Wow.
And new variants emerging. But they're saying that pandemic is over.
They have new variant now, don't they, right?
They've got some new variants of the Omicron. I can't remember the lettering of it, but they said it's been around in the Caribbean for some time. CAFA would have said that they would see this since last year, and we should be immune to it.
Yeah.
But we're still getting the virus here in Trinidad. And we're still getting a number of cases. We still have at least about between 3 to 4 deaths, sometimes 7 deaths a week from the virus, You
guys still getting deaths?
Yeah, and that's what's counted, according.
Wow.
Right?
That's sad. Oh, I just found the name of the variant that's traveling now. It's called the Arcturus. The Arcturus COVID-19 COVID variant.
Yeah.
ARCTURUS. Arcturus variant.
And I heard it's causing red eye, that conjunctivitis.
Yes, pink eye. Yeah, pink eye. Yep.
people are getting that and they're getting quite sick. And then it's so funny that happened the same time that they had to recall all these eye drops, eye drop
Yeah.
medications from India as well. So all of that was happening.
You
So
saying it's a
I mean,
conspiracy, Kim?
I'm just saying that people probably being treated for the pink eye and they were using the eye drops and it's probably worsened things.
Mm,
I'm not sure. I'm just saying that probably did happen.
yeah. Let's move away from COVID-19 because we don't want to get shut down, right? Because remember the last time we spoke about COVID-19? That entire episode was missing, Kim. Yeah. So we didn't say anything out of the way though. We said get vaccinated. Get vaccinated, people. If you have not done so, get vaccinated. Don't be like these other boneheads out here that haven't gotten their shots. And if you need a booster shot, get a booster shot. Please get vaccinated against COVID-19. Save yourself and save others. That's my public service message for the night.
Reassuring to see that it is for them to say it's over. I think most people are relaxed. They're a little more confident when you actually hear it from organizations like the World Health Organization. Also, that America is allowing the non-vaccinated from the 11th.
Yes. And I went to the United States right before the 11th, actually, and I had to travel. I had to show my vaccination card. It was a long process, really embarrassing, Anyway,
Really?
that was like I traveled on the.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah, last week. Yeah, I traveled last week. Yeah, and so I need to show my card. So
you have to show it at every step of the way, every state that you stopped by.
Yep. That's what it happens. And I traveled last week to Colorado, and that was the first time I was ever put on the SSSS list. That special, yeah, but to get special screening. And I was patted down by this very, very fella.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I could see he was enjoying himself, but he was very professional though. He didn't really touch anywhere. It wasn't really a personal touch, but I didn't feel comfortable with it. I should have let a woman do it, right? But his job was his job. He's very professional. I gotta say, the TSA guard, but he still was very, I didn't like that much.
I'm still
Say again. Sorry again.
No, I'm just, always concerned about that. They labeling that putting it on your ticket and saying, okay, well, this person has to be screened extra. You got that.
Yeah. They say it was random. I don't believe them though. They say it was random. But I think they know exactly who they want to target. Who they believe is going to be a security risk.
Why? I mean, Yori Camp is the most innocent of them all.
I know, right? Why? That reminds me, I went to China several years back, and they had all my luggage torn up, man. I had to buy separate luggage twice in China. They tore it all up, thinking, what the hell do you think I was doing, man? I was only there on a diplomatic trip. I wasn't doing anything untowards. But back to this TSA agent, though, he patted me down really, 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 securely. He was kind of professional. I like that. He went through my stuff, went through all my clothes. That was cool. Reminds me when I went to the strip club several months back, and this lady, and she was a female. She's a female security guard, and she made sure she patted me down from head to toe, man. She touched me all over my body, Kim, and that wasn't a regular pat down, Kim. That was a personal touch, Kim. She went overboard with that, man. She really felt me up, man. I felt uncomfortable with that for sure. That wasn't a regular security pat down. That was very, very personal.
Men know when they're just like us women. We know that when we're being,
being touched.
Yeah, in a wrong way,
Yes.
And it does happen to men as well,
Yes.
It's not right.
And they think that because I was going to a strip club that I was going to take that kind of stuff. But I felt uncomfortable, Kim. That wasn't right. I was groped. And fondled.
Your personal space is being violated.
Exactly. I was groped and fondled, Kim. And it's not funny. It's not funny. Even though she was a woman, right? It wasn't funny.
No, it's not. No.
I don't like that.
Some women think that, it's just a man. They, take and men are going to say, take it like a man,
Yeah, that's what they expect to say, right? No, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all, Kim. I know she has to do her job, right? But no, the way she touched my crotch, it was no, man. And the way she rubbed my chest, it was too much, man. That was too much. She was getting off, Kim. She's getting off. It was very uncomfortable, Kim. If I had to haul off and punch, I would have been in the wrong. I wouldn't have been able to get in the strip club that night. And I really wanted to go see, because the reason why I was at the strip club is because Trina, the rap star Trina, she's performing at that club that night. That was like that Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve. And Trina was in town. She brought all of her friends with her. So she was having a big party at this strip club, Cheetah's Lounge. And
Okay.
so I went to see Trina perform. Really, that's what I went there for. I don't really go to those places. The guy who went there was I like Trina. So I went to have a good time to watch a performance, a concert. And Trina never came on. I left that place like around 4 o'clock in the morning. Trina never came on. Even though she was in the building, she never actually came on and perform. So I wasted my whole night there waiting for Trina to perform. So, until I found out that that's what she does. She waits until 4 or 5 o'clock, 4:35 o'clock, come on and perform. People won't go home, man, Trina. Come on. If you
Oh my.
get at least get on the stage by 2 o'clock, at least by 2. It's 5 o'clock. I'm ready to go home, man. I have church in the morning, woman. I have church in the morning. I have church in the morning, man. That was a Saturday night. I have church in the morning. Come on. Yeah, church in the morning, strip club, right?
If you're gonna bust style like that on your audience, that's paying to see you.
Yeah.
Be like a high build artist, like even J-Lo, even though I don't like J-Lo's music or anything,
Yeah. Yeah. That's another hot take, Kim. You don't like J-Lo's music? J-Lo really isn't a good singer either. She hasn't made good music.
No, she doesn't have good music. I mean, we all know her for Jenny on the Block, but I believe she had this idea that she could sing because of doing the Selena movie.
Yeah. And really all she is TNA, All she is boobs and butt. That's all. B and B.
Yeah, well, most
Can be. Yeah.
she looks
She was
good.
Beyonce before Beyonce became Beyonce, right? But then that's another hot take. Beyonce wasn't the best singer in Destiny's Child. I said it. Beyonce was not the best singer in Destiny's Child. Kelly Rowland was.
I agree there too.
Yes. That's a hot take. We have hot takes tonight, Kim. We have none but hot takes.
Beyonce fan. I really don't like Beyonce's music. I like Destiny's Child's music.
Okay.
I would listen to Kelly Rowland songs, but I
Yes.
don't like Beyonce music at all.
Okay. Yeah. I like ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Because my body's too bootylicious, boy, babe. I love that.
If I'm going to listen to R&B today, who am I listening to? I'm stuck on the old school. Give me Eric Benet. Give me I like Ashanti. I like Ashanti and Nelly and they were the item back in the day. They
Yes.
sang.
Yes.
But today, not so much. I still go back to the old school ones, even from the 90s.
Yeah. I feel like Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
And what's Grant Hill's wife who sings?
Yeah, what's his name? Tamia. Oh yeah, she's beautiful too. I love her song, man.
Yeah, she has.
I'm so into you.
I love her music. I love Tamia, and
I'm so into you was one of my favorite jams, Kim. I'm so into you. I played all the time, Kim. All the time I played it.
and of course Toni Braxton.
Toni Braxton.
Toni Braxton is my hero in the sense that she has made lupus look easygoing, even though I know she has a struggle.
Yes. There's World Lupus Day on Wednesday, isn't it? Right?
Is this month. May is the awareness month for lupus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, along with being Labor Month, isn't it? Right. So yeah, we can talk about that on Wednesday too.
Yeah.
So we'll come up on it's 9:29, Kim. Let's wrap up, I guess. Any final thoughts, Kim?
I know at the end of this week we will be celebrating someone's birthday, so we have something to look forward to additionally on Friday.
Yes, we're gonna have a special Friday birthday show, pre-birthday show. That's the best I can have, a pre-birthday show on Friday. Yours truly would be 44 years old. I can't believe I'm 44, Kim.
He's letting the world know.
I know, 44. Buy that number. If you buy numbers, buy them. Buy 44.
Well, we only go up to 36 here.
Yeah?
Yeah, our numbers only go up to 36. And 36 is actually the number that represents what stands for JA, a donkey.
Oh, wow. Oh, come on. That's cruel.
Yeah, I would say something else, but what usually plays when...
Kim, you have a mean streak with you, You playing nice and sweet, you have a mean streak with you, Kim. Let
Let
it out, man. Let the darkness flow.
It's Trini culture.
Yeah, I know. But Kimmy, man, thank you for coming on once again for the LimeVibe Live podcast, my dear. You're in good spirits, I see. Keep your head up. We're all gonna make it.
Yeah.
So Here we are for another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yori Kemp, along with my beautiful co-host, Ms. Kimberly Ram-Calawan, and thank you for joining us again for another LimeVibe Live podcast. If you have not done so already, please go to our Facebook page or our YouTube page and click like and subscribe to either which one, or both of them actually, because it really helps us out a lot. It helps us to get the message out, and it helps us to spread our videos everywhere so people can see what we have to say and what the Caribbean has to offer. So please go to YouTube, LimeVibe, or Facebook LimeVibe, and like and share our videos and subscribe to our content. We really appreciate that. So this is Yori Camp again from the Bahamas saying good night.
Good night.